Before we jump into the content of this video, I first wanted to say thank you to Covenant Eyes for sponsoring this video. Covenant Eyes is amazing. It's an online accountability service that helps you overcome pornography by monitoring your screen activity and sending the report to a trusted ally who you've chosen, who will then hold you accountable for your online choices. You can use the discount code Melissa30 to try it out for 30 days for free and to see how it helps you. And now into the rest of the video. So as you may be able to tell from the sponsor of this video or from the title of this video is going to be focused on sharing resources to help you combat pornography. This is by no means an all-inclusive list. There are so many amazing, helpful resources out there. I'm just going to be sharing a few to get started. And then if this is something that you guys are interested in and you want to hear more about and you want me to share more resources, let me know in the comments below and maybe I can do a part 2 because there are just so many resources for this and it is such an important topic and it's so important to be aware of how we can help ourselves if you're struggling with this or help someone that you know and love who is struggling with pornography. When I was younger, especially in high school, I thought pornography was normal. Although I felt like something was wrong about it, it didn't seem right, but it also just seemed from the conversation around me that it was a given, that people were watching pornography, using pornography, and it wasn't ever something that I questioned how detrimental it was for people, for individuals, for families, for society. I never really understood the depth of the harmful effects of pornography. And it wasn't until college that I heard women start talking about and almost bragging about the way that they would watch and use pornography. I never heard it talked about as a struggle or something that someone was working to overcome. I only heard people talking about it that it was normal, they watched it, they used it, and they had no interest in changing that. As a side note, you may be able to hear my 3-month-old. He is in the swing and he is chatting away to his elephant. So if you hear some grunting, that is what's going on. He's having a serious chat with his stuffed elephant. It wasn't until I heard a talk when I was in college about pornography, about the harmful effects of pornography, and about how addictive it becomes. I didn't even know that it was something that somebody could struggle with an addiction about. And so I heard a talk on it in college and I realized what a crisis it was. And then when I was in grad school and I studied to become a marriage and family therapist, I started doing research on this, especially in my sexualities class. In my sexualities class, we were asked to do a research project to study something that we were interested in learning more about that we knew would come up in a therapy session. I knew pornography was extremely common and very likely to come up, especially when working with a couple, but even working with individuals. And so I started learning more about it, doing more research about it, and realizing how much harm that pornography causes. There are significant connections that are intertwined and unable to be separated between pornography and sex trafficking, human trafficking, sexual abuse, physical abuse, violence, racism, objectification, inequality, so many other major issues in our culture, in our world, in society, and they're directly linked with pornography. So pornography is not something that is just neutral or good even. Sometimes people think that it's good, it's beneficial. It's not. So my point in this video is not to convince you that it's not good, it's to share resources because I think it's very important. And if we do need to have a conversation about the depth of these harmful effects of pornography, let me know and I can do a video focused on that. But today I really just wanted to share resources and offer support for those struggling with pornography, either themselves, maybe it's a friend or a family member, a spouse, a child, whoever is struggling with pornography in your life and wants to address it or you want to help them. Here are some resources that can help. The first one that I'm going to share is a book. It is called The Porn Myth, and I'm going to link this and every single thing that I talk about, all of the resources down below. I'll link Instagram accounts, I'll link websites, I'll link all the resources that I can think of that I talk about in this video. So the first one is The Porn Myth. It's a book and the author is Matt Fradd. So Matt Fradd is the first one that I heard speaking out about pornography and the harmful effects of it. He is a very faithful Catholic man and he speaks really well on this topic because it's not focused on faith or religion. This is not a religious issue. It has honestly nothing to do with that. This is a human issue. It impacts our brain, it impacts our relationships, it impacts all of those other things that I talked about earlier. And so what I really appreciate is that this book, and a lot of these resources too, are non-religious resources. So if you are religious, it can help you, but if you're not religious, it can also be extremely beneficial, and this information is fact-based. So it's based on research, science. It's not people's opinions. It's not based on what I think or what my church teaches me. This is based on research and scientific fact. So this book is a response to the commonly held belief that pornography is harmless or even a positive, beneficial thing. This is a response to that. It goes through all of the different myths about pornography and how it might possibly be seen as a good thing, and it goes into the answers to those myths and what is the actual truth. It's based on the experiences of porn performers, so people who have been directly involved in creating pornographic content, and also users of pornography. It also draws on the expertise of psychologists, neurologists, and sociologists to look at the way that pornography is destructive for our relationships, for ourselves, and for our society. So if you're interested in learning about that, well, I have this question and I kind of think it's good because of this, or this person asked me this question, this person told me that it was okay because of this reason, or that it's actually empowering, or that people that are in pornography really want to be there, this is the book that you want to start with. Read it. All right, the next resource I want to share is called Fight the New Drug. This is another favorite, and actually the shirt that I'm wearing today is from Fight the New Drug. It says a global fight for love, because porn kills love. Porn and love do not go together in any way, 0%, not at all. So Fight the New Drug is also a non-religious organization. It's non-legislative. They want to give people the opportunity to make informed decisions about pornography, to know the facts, to know what happens, to know what goes on behind the scenes, to know the research, and then be able to make decisions. So they're there to provide information, and it's incredibly helpful. It's one of my favorite informational Instagram accounts to follow because I learned so much from them. They want to raise awareness about the harmful effects of pornography, and it's based on science, fact, research, and personal accounts of those who have been involved in the pornography industry and those who have used it. They have a documentary, they have short videos on their website and on their Instagram account. They have a podcast and they have articles. So much information. So go check out Fight the New Drug. Another one that I found through Instagram is called Changing Attitudes. Their whole mission is to change the attitudes that we have around pornography and sex buying in order to eliminate sex buying. They have videos also on their Instagram and on their website that is filled with tons of information about pornography, attitudes, and sex buying, and how it impacts us, how it impacts our relationships, our families, our society. Again, this is not something that is individual, that only affects me and it's my personal choice and I do it behind closed doors. That is not the case at all. It has extreme effects on you individually, but then everything else, it's a ripple effect. There's so many implications. This is not just an individual issue. We don't live in a vacuum. We don't live in a bubble. So everything we do impacts other people around us, but especially pornography. Another resource is called Integrity Restored. This is one of the first resources that I heard about because I think that Mad Frad used to be involved in it, and he was how I started learning about all of this years ago. I don't think that he's still involved in it, but anyway, it's still an amazing resource. Integrity Restored, they have a podcast. The podcast is incredible, so helpful, especially for those struggling with pornography. But all of these resources are not only helpful for the person who's struggling, but it's also helpful for the person who's being impacted by the person who's struggling. So if you're a spouse, friend, family member, however, in whatever way you're being impacted by the harmful effects of pornography, these resources are also helpful for you. In addition to their podcast, they have a free ebook, and I think it's 7 ways to overcome pornography, something along those lines. So if you're struggling, again, check out their ebook. All the links down in the description box below. They have a blog, and they also on their website have counseling resources to help you find a therapist, and they also have coaching programs for men and coaching programs for women. So helpful. That is incredible, so valuable. So check them out if you are looking for that kind of personalized one-on-one support. Okay, and then 2 of the religious, faith-based resources that I have for combating pornography. One is called Restore Love, and one is the Confraternity of Angelic Warfare. Restore Love is amazing because, like I said, there's a direct connection between sexual abuse and pornography. Restore Love is a nonprofit. They aim to help women who are looking to heal from experiences of child sexual abuse and pornography use. So if that's you, if you've experienced abuse and you've struggled with pornography, because again, go hand in hand, a lot of times they're very connected. If that is you, please check out Restore Love. They have community and educational content. So they have a private Facebook group that you can join, Instagram community, and then they're always putting out information to help teach and educate on these topics. Then the Confraternity of Angelic Warfare is really beautiful. They're focused on helping you grow in purity. It's an apostolate of the Dominican order, and it's a fellowship of both men and women that help you seek authentic, true love and help you practice chastity. This is under the patronage of St. Thomas Aquinas and our Blessed Mother Mary. I believe they will send you resources. They have books online, prayers. There's a lot of prayers on their websites. Check that out if you are someone of faith and you're looking to overcome pornography. Then last resource for today is what I mentioned originally at the beginning of this video, is Covenant Eyes. So Covenant Eyes is essential. It is essential for you to have protective software on your devices, especially if you have kids and especially if you've struggled with pornography or someone in your family has. But regardless, everybody should have protective software on their computers and devices. Covenant Eyes is all about accountability. So you choose your accountability partner, and then as you are going throughout your life and you're on your devices and you're struggling with pornography, and then you have a day where there's lots of temptations and you go on a site and then you get distracted and you get sucked into it and you fall into temptation and you fall into sin, that is going to send a report of your online activity to your accountability partner. So your accountability partner can call you up and be like, hey, what's going on? How can I help you? How are you struggling? What do we need? What kind of support do you need? And they can help you actively as you go throughout this process of overcoming pornography. Because truly, it's an addiction. Just because you decide that you don't want to look at pornography anymore, or you believe that it's harmful and you believe all these things, doesn't mean that you can necessarily just say, I'm never going to look at it again, I'm never going to struggle with it again. If it's something that you struggle with, because the average age that someone will be exposed to pornography is between 8 and 11. When you're 8 or 11, you cannot make informed decisions about what you're looking at online, especially things that are highly addictive. So kids, when they get exposed to pornography, often get addicted at that early of an age or in their young teenage years before they can actually make a decision about, is this something good that I want to be choosing actively? It's more often something they get sucked into because it's something that interests them, they're curious about it, and curiosity about the body and sexuality is good, but pornography twists it to become something so bad. It's really important to have this type of software, number one, for when you're trying to overcome it, but number two, to have filters on your devices so that your kids don't get exposed to it accidentally. I remember being, I think, in 5th grade and accidentally coming across a pornographic website, and I had no idea. I didn't do it on purpose. It was something very similar, like my friend and I were searching something online. We came across something accidentally. It was maybe like one letter off from something we were trying to search, but anyway, the website came up and it was so shocking to be, how old are you in 5th grade? I don't know, 9 years old maybe, something like that. And so, I mean, thankfully, thank God it hasn't been something that I've struggled with, but it would be so easy for that to become something that you struggle with. When I was in grad school, we had a case that we were looking at and studying in one of my classes, and it was about this young girl. I think she was 9 years old, and her parents didn't realize, because they weren't monitoring her online activity, because they thought she's 9 years old, she's looking up videos of like puppy dogs or something very innocent, and it started that way, but she accidentally came across pornography and she became addicted, and she knew that it was wrong. She knew there was something wrong about it, and kids know there's something wrong about it, so they hide and they do it in secret, and it took over 1.5 years for her parents to realize, and they noticed and they saw the log in the computer, and they got her counseling, they got her support. You don't want to go through that. Get protective software on your computers, on your devices, on your phones, on everything that kids have access to, because it's so easy for them to become exposed to pornography at much too young of an age. When you go on Covenant Eyes website, you can check if you're a man seeking support and overcoming pornography, if you're a woman looking to overcome pornography, or if you are a friend, a spouse, or a parent looking to help someone else overcome pornography. So check out their website, and again, you can use the discount code Melissa30 to try it out for 30 days for free and to see how it works for you. So those are all the resources I'm going to share in this video. I hope it was helpful. I pray that it was helpful. I pray that if you're watching this video, it encourages you to take the next step. It's hard. This is a hard topic. This is a hard thing to struggle with, but just take the next step. Sign up for Covenant Eyes, try it for 30 days for free. Ask somebody to be your accountability partner and check in with them daily. If I could challenge you to one thing, I would say just go look at these websites. Go watch the videos, hear these personal stories, learn the facts, learn what the science and research says, learn the way that pornography impacts the brain. Be informed so that you can make informed decisions and have informed conversations around this topic. So if you liked this video, if you found it beneficial, please share it with somebody, share it with someone else who you think could benefit from it. And if you give it a like, which I always appreciate, that just helps tell YouTube to share this video even more. So I would really appreciate that. Subscribe if you're interested in more videos from me. Let me know in the comments if you want a part 2, if you want me to share more resources, if you want me to share more prayers and saints that you can run to help overcome pornography, or if you want me to share more counseling resources. Let me know what else you're interested in on this topic, and I will see you in my next video. Have a great day. Bye.